let's change the camera setting real quick here. Okay. Hey there, everybody. Wait for this thing to not be in front of my face anymore. Hi, it's great to see you. We're going to do a walkthrough tour of Blizzard World. I hope to do this with many maps, and you can do it too. All you have to do, actually, I'll show you what I do to make one of the. I'll show it later. But anyway, here is the Defender spawn for Blizzard World. It is in the arcade, the Heroes of the Storm arcade, and I'm running a custom game, so I walk a lot faster, and I also changed my rockets so their projectiles a lot quicker too, and also unlimited. So, coming out of here, coming out of spawn, we see we can go left or right, or left or straight. Coming left goes into a series of side rooms here. Big health pack. See where this is? So that spot way in the distance over there, that is the entrance to the attack point. So if you come back a ways, you will find that there are a series of rooms, and that seems to be the theme of Blizzard World, is a main thoroughfare with a series of rooms that sort of go around it. Blow up the chairs. So you can come up the stairs here and get to the high ground, which is this this glowing pylon here. It has 3 walkways off of it. This one, and then of course the one that I'm on. You can also make it so jets do not ever stop. So let's go. So here we are back at the arcade. Let's come from spawn and go as if we were defending the point. So we come out, we immediately take the left, and we follow this path all the way. Notice a big health pack right here. And so we follow this path all the way to attack point A right here. And then we continue to follow the path, which will go to the Hearthstone Tavern, which is where defenders will spawn. Notice they have 2 spawn rooms, one right there, one right there. When you are attacking, you have 2 ways to go. You can either go right through that way, right through that way, or right through the Lost and Found Vikings. So, kind of odd, you can't actually go that way. That is a dead end. Coming through it, let's walk through it. So there is health pack right there, which will probably never get any use just because it's too close. And then it goes around here and on up. It would be good if somebody was spawn camping you. So if somebody was spawn camping you and you're able to sneak out, and you're able to go over here, then you're able to go through this other room. Down here in the restroom, these are the restrooms, another big health pack there. Ooh.
Much better.
Much better. So let's head through. We already know how to get through the main thoroughfare. Let's go through the Vikings route. So you can go through this place or that place. See, here is even the kegs right there. So you can come straight out of here and over to Lost and Found Vikings. There's nothing over there, as you can see as my thing lights it up, as my rocket lights it up. But you come up here to the stairs, and now you have 2 places to attack from. So right here, which is going on to this is the main thoroughfare again, or you have this one. Ooh, treasure chest. Come on, you. The other one, when I hit it, it like opens up. I wonder if that's a glitch. Is through this way. And at first, you might not want to go that way, but if you have some people attacking this way here, you going this way would be really good to make it over to these stairs here. Now these stairs, and notice where I am. I'm in the main thoroughfare. If you're able to go right, and that is a door that leads nowhere. If you're able to go right, there are these stairs here, and these stairs lead up to the Ride of Duskwood, which is this guy, where the or Flight to Duskwood, is where these little eagle things fly around. So when you see, if I fly up and above, it's this guy. So in the main thoroughfare, here's Flight to Duskwood. Well, how do you get up that? Well, it turns out you have to go that way. So if you go that way, you can get up it. None of the doors will ever open. So if you think they will, I'm sorry. Oh, what does it say? General Turalian. Ooh, neat. I don't play any of the other games, so that's really interesting to me. So let's see. So as we've established, this is one of the flanking routes. So you can either come straight up this way for an attacker. You can go right there. You can also come up this way. This is the Viking Lost and Found. Remember, Viking Lost and Found. Going up the stairs. And then you have this way, which is this main statue again. And you also have this other way. So, what is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 sort of attack routes before you really have to start engagement. Of course, if you have the ability to fly, that's really nice. Otherwise, just take these stairs up. In here, little health packs. The props are not explodable. And it just goes in a loop. Now, let's talk about, and this is taking a long time, right? Because, well, this is a hybrid map. First you attack this, and then you go and you attack. First you attack this, and then you take the payload and you escort it through the rest of the park. So that's why I'm spending a bit of time on this. Now, if you're defending, let's look at this a little bit differently. I've come through. Remember, our spawn is all the way over here. I love being able to walk this fast. Here it is. So our spawn is right over here. You come out, you make a left, you go through all of these things. This room here will connect. There's a big health pack. We'll connect up here, and we should really save this for the escort part and come all the way over to your arcade. Let's save that for when we're talking about the escort part. So, and then you come through this gate here, these castle gates, and then you immediately see these stairs. You can walk up and get some high ground immediately. That's pretty nice and easy high ground for you. I call it the gallows because those look like gallows. Like that looks like a gallow, and that looks like a gallow, even though they're technically not gallows. I call them gallows. If you're Torbjorn, places to set your turret up. You could set it up right here, although I don't recommend it because we got to be aware of long sight lines as a Torbjorn main or Torbjorn turret setter upper. So this is a long sight line, and granted it's hard to get a sense of distance because my rockets go really fast, but we have that. And then you could also do over here, which is kind of nice, although somebody will probably just poke from this corner if they're able to get to it. I guess they're not able to get to it, so that might be a good spot to be. But you're not getting as much work out of your turret as you could be. So let's look at a few main places where you could place turrets, starting from front to back. No, place number 1 is right here. Not recommended, nevertheless doable. If you were to place a turret here, I would put it as close to right there as possible. Oh, close to right there as possible, because the sight lines, you have a little bit of sight lines right there, but it's not too terrible. And then you get to also see all of this, all of these, That's if you have people wanting to hold first choke, which is difficult unless you're doing really, really well. I don't recommend putting it up here. Some people will put it on this. You can put it on the ride, and it will just go around. So it'll be pew, 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 pew. So it'll sort of shoot and deal with people there. Come around. We're just going to take a ride. Sorry, nice pictures. Oh, hello, person. That's fun. So it takes a while. Pew, pew, pew. It'll shoot down there. I'm talking about if you put a Torbjorn turret on this ride right here, and then it comes up, and then pew, 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 pew. So it gets them for quite a bit, for a little bit, and then goes around again. But it's a great way to sort of hide a turret in plain sight, which is really nice. Another place to put a Torbjorn turret is right over here. The Fargo Deep Mine. I don't know if that's a little cafe, but I sort of think that it is. So the Fargo Deep Mine has a second floor. That I would consider to be a really good spot to put a Torbjorn turret, and let's check it out. So when we're over here, we've just come out of spawn, and we go through the little opening here, and we've got Snacks Ramus right here. Don't go in that. You want to go to the door to the left of Snacks Ramus. So right next to Snacks Ramus, we have the Fargo Deep Mine. Oh, I guess it's a ride. And you can get to it from Snacks Ramus, but I always just like to think of it as being its own thing. So walk up the stairs, and then place your turret. Place it here if you want. I would probably place it, maybe right there. If it's sitting here, then you've got pretty good. And people should be up there, even though that's long sight lines. People should be up there, or you could place it right here. And placing it right here is really good. Hardly anybody ever goes right, and even if they did, the turret would be able to get them once they came back round. It can get people who manage to get up there, and it does not have long sight lines for around here. This is particularly good if you have people coming up here. They're gonna sneak up here, right? And they'll win this first fight, and then they'll just snake around. Well, now they've got a turret on them, and it's sort of in the blind spot. It's right there still. Does that explosion just always stay there? I guess that explosion just always stays there. So we have that spot there. So spot number 1 would be up here. Probably not the best because of long sight lines. Spot number 2 would be right there. Probably the best because it's easy to guard. There's only one way to get to it, and it's sort of behind cover. And then other spots on the right itself or right next to it, pretty decent, but not the best. If you're Symmetra, here's a good spot to put turrets, because great spot to put turrets are right. Oh, come on, give it to me. Right there, on the top of this, as much as possible. And don't put it low, because that'll be easy for people to see. But the attackers are going to walk through and they're going to say, hey, we know the flanking route, and they're going to come up here. And especially if you get them right there-ish, that'll work really well. Other places to put them would be right up here also. Right there also. Because they're gonna come over, they're gonna go, what's going on, and turn around, which is such a long turn to do. And then you can have people around. You could also place them right on that post right there. I don't even know if you could see if I put the X right there. You could place them on that post, or even here in the dark. They will glow red, true. But this room is a great room to set up a car wash as Symmetra. Okay, that pretty much covers it for this area. So if you are an attacker, That's your flank route. That's your main route. If you can sneak around to that staircase, you can get up to the flight to Duskwood, which is that little rooftop, that little bit of high ground, right? And then you could drop down off to the right side, which is a great way to drop down. Or if you're able to, you can sneak around in here, but it probably won't. You probably wouldn't do that because by that point you're just close enough to just walk over here anyway. If you're defending, high ground points 1, 2, and 3. Good places to put torp turrets. Okay, now let's talk about... Alright, let me see if this will let me... There it is. There it is. See? Easter egg. Get that gold. Alright, so here's Snacks Ramus here. So Snacks Ramus, you come in, you go left, this goes into the mine with a large health pack and the second floor torp turret part. Small health pack in here, and then it will also go down into the docks. I think one of these things opens up into, ooh. Oh. If I blow it open. Nope. I think the next spawn is there. So, also, big health packs. Behind, right? These are the gallows. So, behind the gallows, in the mine, in the Fargo deep mine, and yes, here's a small little caddy corner room. So this might be a good flanking route for if you are coming out of here. So if you spawn and you so if they start putting a lot of pressure, because this is where attackers will be coming from, right? So if they put a lot of pressure, you can drop down and sort of flank around here and take these stairs. This is your main entryway, and then also stairs going to the high ground, which that's the high ground pylon, right? We'll call that high ground pylon, which is right. There's a Hearthstone Tavern. There's a high ground pylon right there. That was silly. There's a high ground pylon. Okay. But then you could also come over here and you have these really nifty little flanking routes. So there's this circle. So, right, we've got this pylon terrace, right, which is where all the high ground is. High ground pathway, and pathway. And then you have this sort of circle that goes around the building and then also through the building. So it will circle all around the building. It has 1 health pack in it. I have had a lot of success with a torp turret right here, because they sort of come around the corner and I just sort of blast them. They don't realize what's coming, and the turret, you could put it either there or here, and then just clack, 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 because normally attackers are going to keep coming up this avenue, and they're not going to be suspecting you here. But then if you wanted to flank them, remember, you could always, take the payload this way, and then make a left, and come down in here. Oops. No. You can always take the left. No, that was... oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm getting myself mixed up. You can always come down here, and then come up and around. You could either get to that entrance, or this would be behind the Torbjorn, right? So, as it's going along, we have these little bits. We're getting close to the first spawn from the beginning. So to the left, we have the pylon terrace with all of the high ground bits. If you want to get to them, here's where the staircases are. You can come through here. This will give you a staircase. There's a staircase that goes up to it. And then also, this is another staircase. Here's our arcade again. So if you come out of the arcade and make a left up these stairs, you can get to the high ground. And then we also have another one this staircase is right before the entrance to the, looks like, spooky cathedral. So yeah, and you would use this if you were a defender. You would probably come up here and come up here and walk around. The buildings will all sort of attach to each other. So coming through here, we have this sort of flank route, which has stairs that go up, a small room that has a health pack, entryway to go out to the main thoroughfare. There's the spawn room with a health pack, and it ends here. And then, after that, it will lead straight into the spooky part. This is a... Okay, so this is from... I will see people use this right here as a good flanking route. I've seen Bastion Orissas set up here. Reign of the Black King. Set up here. Which is pretty good. So, that is it for this part, which I would say is the outdoor part. Now we have the inside part. And this is a defender spawn point here, so it doesn't. It's tough, but you do spawn here. Here is where you spawn. Yeah, so you'll spawn here, and you won't really go out to the left because that's not where the objective is. You'll normally come out straight here, and when you come out of your spawn, here's the center spot, which is the gate to this castle. So now if you're attacking, you come in through the center part here, and it has a wide sweeping flank route. Alright, so the payload comes down these tracks and continues to go around and then end right there. But you can make a right, and you can go... Can you even blow those up? Nope. You can make a right, and then turn the corner and come around to join your payload again, or you can continue it for more health pack, and then I think this is spawn. Yes, that's hero spawn. And defenders, defenders, on the last point, you will spawn here and go to the left or the right. If you go to the left, you can just sort of keep sticking to the left, and you can eventually come around and come up and clip them from behind. Here's a little room to hide in. Very nice little room to hide in. This is also a good ledge for widows and such. If you're able to fly over that, you can. And then you have this high ground. And how you get to this high ground is just by walking into the room underneath it. If you go to the left, you will just see this is where the spawn was. But if you just go up these stairs here, you will hit this. You'll be able to get to this high ground, which is pretty nifty because you can see over this side, so that's a lot. This would probably be a good spot for a Torbjorn turret as well. Put it right there. It's got fairly short sight lines, but there's lots of engagement that happens, so even though there might be a lot of sight lines, longer sight lines, that is to say, it might be more advantageous just because there's a lot of action going on right there. Then jumping over, you have the last player's spawn point. Where is it? It is... no, that wasn't it. So last player's spawn point is right over here. Yes. And so you have these fun books, fun props, and that's how you flank around. So you can come out this way, following the main path. This way will lead you back to spawn. You can always come to the right here, which will get you close to, where did that room go? Oh, there it is. So you can always come, so you can come this way where the blue torches are and come up the stairs for the high ground. So, it's long, yes, but hopefully that helps. I am not an expert at this map. I should probably start by saying that. But I am not. And essentially, if you ever wanted a health pack, you just got to go off the main thoroughfare, and you will find one pretty easily. Like, there's one right there. It's always like, if it's like, oh, help, I need a health pack, I need a health pack. Well, just go into one of the locations, and you will find one pretty quickly. Just got to go off the beaten path just a little bit. So, I'd say that is it for my... There it is. So, that is it for my... Oh, what is that thing? Can you blow it down? Can you blow it up? Guess not. It's like a flea that's carrying a box. And anyway, Blizzard Worlds is a super fun map, and I have a ton of fun with it. I've heard it said that it's very difficult to attack, and it probably all has to stem toward it probably all stems from this beginning spot here, seeing how you only have really 3 routes to go. This area over here, pretty easy to get through. Once you get into the castle, though, a lot of people just forget about the flanking routes, because this route here, it does this big S turn, and even though it's sort of being blocked there, well, I guess that's the end. But it does this sort of diagonal kitty corner thing, but that's a lot of, it's like the same sight lines, you know, it's not going through any tunnels. I'm sitting here and I can see you. Whoops. If I'm sitting here as Junkrat, I can see you if you're here or if you're there, which is pretty much the entire part. So you just need to hold down this point, and there's really not much you can do. If you are attacking, let's see if there's any shortcuts. So we've got the main thoroughfare there. And they typically leave a flank route, so you can come behind here and flank, or come behind and go through the hallways and come up here to get, you know, that Junkrat that's sitting up here. So there is a flank, but perhaps it's just that people don't really think about looking at that doorway, right? So our main thoroughfare, push the payload there, and then it's going that away. Maybe somebody has to stay on it, but then maybe your Reaper comes through here and just starts flanking around in the back, trying to get up here. If you are able to dominate this spot, I have a feeling your odds of success will go up by a bunch. That is it for our that is it for our tour of Blizzard World. If you like it, let me know. Comments, questions, it's all very, very welcome. I will be back. We'll be playing some Overwatch, doing an actual game in just a moment, if you're still watching. And thank you for joining me, and have fun out there.